Hi, my name is Amber Justmann with 3P Speech, and I'm here to talk to you about how to judge oral interpretation. In some states you may hear it called prose poetry or thematic interpretation, but basically the Black Book then. This is a scripted piece in which students will perform by using their manuscript in form of a black book, but more on that later. First, the logistics. For tournaments, competitors will come prepared with two separate performances, one prose and one poetry. At the beginning of the tournament, someone will make an announcement as to which will be going first. From there, competitors will alternate their pieces with each round. So for example, if they announce that prose will be going in the first round, that means poetry will follow, then prose again for third round, poetry for sems, and again prose for finals. Some tournaments, however, will list prose and poetry as two completely separate events, and competitors will have the opportunity to choose one piece to perform for the entire tournament. Now on to judging. General judging techniques and preparation apply for this event. So if you would like a refresher, go ahead and click the link down below and check out Austin's video on judging speech events. If you haven't already seen his video, I'd go ahead and save yourself the trouble of getting confused later and check it out now. Back to business. Performers should walk into the round with a small black book that looks like this one. We call it a black book. Yes. We have very creative people in the NFL. Customarily, when they are called to perform, competitors will walk towards the front of the room with their black books closed. Once they get there, they will normally make eye contact with their audience and judges and then begin by opening their book. Now, once they've gotten a little bit in, they will stop to do their introduction, at which point they'll close their book, say their piece, and end it by saying their titles and authors, after which point they will open their book again and continue on with their performance. Inside the black book, you should notice that there are a series of pages. In a student's book, they will have segments of the manuscript. Please take note that this is both normal and required. Now, let's talk about what you're actually going to see in these events. First up, prose. This event can be most clearly related to dramatic interpretation, simply for the facts that it is comprised of a single piece of published literature, and it's mostly performed under one character's voice. However, this does not mean the performance has to be of a dramatic nature. To the contrary, it can be romantic or humorous, uplifting, offbeat, creepy, really whatever seems to fit the piece. As I mentioned earlier, the performer will be holding a black book throughout the entire piece. They will use the pages to signify change in time, place, or emotion as they see fit. Now that we've done prose, on to poetry. The norm of this event is to take two or more pieces of poetry and splice them into one event. Let me explain what I mean by splice. Say my poetry program has 4 poems. Now for today's purposes, we're going to call this poem pink, poem blue, green, and yellow. Now, before the tournament, I need to cut each poem into a certain number of stanzas. I like 4, so we're going to stick with that. I now have 16 stanzas. At this point, I go ahead and rearrange them in an order that I think will tell the best story. Each stanza goes on a separate page, so that when I turn, you know that I'm changing both character and poem. Poems should follow a general theme, such as love, technology, belly button lint, or colors of the rainbow. Really, it can be anything. Once they've picked their theme, they'll go ahead and create a title to reflect it to give the overall program. Now that you hopefully understand the way these events work, I want to address a small problem that tends to come up at tournaments, and that's whether or not black books can be used as a prop. What I mean by that is when a black book is used as a tool to help a student through a scene. This means the black book is utilized as a hat for a character, or a gun, or an actual book that a character's using. Some states don't mind, but some explicitly state that this is against the rules. I would check with your judges table before going into a round just to clarify. Anyway, I think that's just about all we need to cover for OI. I strongly encourage you to go ahead and watch the videos for other events so you are fully prepared when you go to a tournament. If you have any questions whatsoever or simply want to know more about what we do, go ahead and contact us at 3pspeech.com. Other than that, I'm Amber Justmann, and thanks for listening.